Hi everyone, welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. Today we'll be going over strength leveling for solo players. The current game version is 12.3, which includes the skill exhaustion mechanic. The first method we'll be discussing is walking while overweight. The concept is simply load your character up with at least 39 kilograms and then start walking around the map. When using this method purely for skill leveling, I recommend carrying a tank battery in the epsilon container. This will require you to complete the Punisher series of quests, however. Otherwise, you can throw the battery into a backpack, but then you risk losing the battery, which is fairly expensive. The key to this skill leveling technique is to ensure that you only walk and do not run. The skill is based on the number of kilometers traveled while walking overweight. The most efficient way to do this is to walk from the spawn to extract on shoreline, and then repeat. The reason this is more efficient is because every time you start a new raid, you will be given a skill buff that gives you an extra 129% skill gain boost for the first few points you earn in any skill. So ideally, you want to use up the boost points and then start a new raid as soon as possible to do it again. I found that walking from spawn to extract on shoreline generally uses up the skill boost quite nicely. So the pros to this method are it can be done extremely safely with an epsilon or kappa container and doesn't cost anything other than the initial equipment. The cons are that it does require an epsilon and it is fairly boring and a slow way to generate skill points. Next up, we have the Throwables method of gaining strength. The most cost-effective way to do this is with smoke grenades. For this method, you will need 8 smoke grenades, and this will require a vest in order to actually throw them. After throwing 8 items, you will have used the entire initial raid buff. Once all the smokes are thrown, dump the insured vest in a bush and go looting to try and recoup as much of the cost as possible. The pros of this method are that you earn points relatively quickly and it's fairly low risk. You can also easily loot afterwards to reduce the cost. The biggest con, however, is that each run will cost at least 52,000 rubles for the smoke grenades alone, and the number of strength points earned during each of these 8 throw raids is about 1.8 skill points. The final method involves a combination of throwing flash grenades and then meleeing the blinded scavs. This method is by far the most risky, as it involves engaging scavs with nothing but flash grenades and a melee weapon, which often leads to death before actually getting any melee hits on the scavs. The key to this method is ensuring that you throw all of your flash grenades prior to getting into a fight with the scavs. This ensures that you don't waste any money on unused flash grenades. I use the Damascus knife when doing this method because it allows me to hit the blinded scavs more times before killing them.
Давай, мочи их! Подок, что ли?
The pros to this method are increased number of strength points gained if you successfully melee a few scavs. The downsides are both the high risk and expense of running this method. A single run will cost around 59,000 rubles, which does not include any meds for when you die. So here are my recommendations on how to build strength for different phases of the game. For early players trying to level up prior to the quest and hideout requirements, I recommend bringing in and throwing 8 items, smokes or flashes, at the beginning of the raid, and then continuing on with whatever else you were trying to accomplish. This will slowly build up strength as you progress through the game and spread the expense out over a longer period of time. For players that are trying to level strength quickly, either for the quests and hideout requirements, or just to try and max the skill, I recommend using the Flash and Melee Scav technique. It guarantees a minimum amount of points each raid with the potential for more. This method also helps you to get to know scavs, their locations and tactics. If you are a late game player just trying to max the skill, I recommend putting on your favorite movie or TV show and loading into a nighttime raid on Shoreline, and just doing the overweight walking method. That's it for this time. If you found the video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below with other videos you'd like to see.
Служивый! А ёбли, граната! Гнида! Вот он! Вон он, сука! Вон он, блядь, вон он, ебашь его! Куда он проебался-то? Ниндзя ебаный!